Okay, so I have two equations over here and I need to solve them for x and y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a method called substitution. In substitution, you need to first isolate one of the variables in one of the equations. So I'm going to rearrange that first equation to give me x equals to 3 minus y. And then I'm going to substitute this into my second equation. So instead of x, I'm going to have 3 minus y equals to negative 1. So I've rewrote this equation, but instead of x, I've substituted 3 minus y. I'm going to solve this so the bracket disappears in the first step. I'm going to combine my two like terms. So I have 3 minus 2y equals to negative 1. I'm going to subtract 3 on the other side. So I have negative 2y equals to negative 1 minus 3. It's negative 2y equals to negative 4. And I divide by negative 2. So y equals 2. Once I find my y value, I need to sub it into my equation to find my x value. So x equals to 3 minus y, x equals to 3 minus 2, x equals to 1. Once I have my final solutions, I can sub it into my original equations to check whether I'm right or not. So 1 plus 2 is 3, and 1 minus 2 is negative 1. I'm going to take a look at some harder questions. So again, I'm going to rearrange this first equation to give me y equals to 41 plus 3x. And now I'm going to sub it into this second equation over here. So I have x minus 741 plus 3x equals negative 87. Basically done my substitution there. I'm going to simplify this by multiplying the negative 7 into this bracket. So I have x minus 287, negative 7 times plus 3x is negative 21x equals to negative 87. I can combine my two like terms. So I have negative 20x minus 287 equals negative 87. Move that to the other side. Combine them, then divide by negative 20 on both sides. So I have x equals to negative 10. So I find my x value, I can find my y value. So y equals to 41 plus 3 times negative 10, which is 41 minus 30, which is 11. Okay, so let's take a look at an even harder problem. In this first problem here, again, I want to isolate x in this equation, so I'm going to divide by 4 on the other side. I'm going to have x equals to 9 over 4y minus 6 over 4. Again, you could simplify this in this step over here as well. 6 over 4 can be simplified to 3 over 2. Once I get this, I'm going to sub this into my other equation over here. So I have 6. Instead of x, I'm going to write that whole equation. So 9 over 4y minus 3 over 2 plus 7y equals 32. I'm going to distribute this 6 into my bracket. So I'm going to do that on my calculator. 6 times 9 over 4 is 27 over 2y. And then 6 times 3 over 2 is 9 plus 7y equals 32. I'm going to combine my two like terms, so 27 over 2 plus 7, 41 over 2y minus 9 equals to 32. I move the minus 9 to the other side, so I have 41 over 2y equals to 32 plus 9, which is 41. I'm going to take this 2 and I'm going to multiply it on the other side. So I have 41y equals to 82. And I'm going to divide by 41. So I get y equals 2. And I'm going to sub that in my first equation. So I have x equals 9 over 4 times 2 minus 6 or 3 over 2, which equals 3. Again, last question here. Oh, that's an x. Again, we're going to rearrange our first equation. So I'm going to have x equals to 8 minus y. I'm going to sub that in my other equation. So I have 8 minus y equals to negative 1. 8 minus y equals negative 1. 8 minus 2y equals to negative 1. Negative 2y equals to negative 1 minus 8. Negative 2y equals to negative 9. y equals to 4.5. And I'm going to sub that in for my x. So x equals to 8 minus 4.5, which is 3.5.